guys, Elena here with Elena Nicole Health. If you do not know me, I am a certified health coach and personal trainer. So I help women who want to lose weight and get healthier and really just look and feel their best every single day, do it in a realistic and sustainable way. If you're ever interested in working with me or learning more about what I do, how I could possibly help you, please always feel free to reach out on any of my social pages at Elena Nicole Health or through my website at elenanicolehealth.com. So today's video, I am sharing 8 simple tips that have helped me to not only lose weight, but also maintain it and do just that. Look and feel my best every single day by developing habits and routines in the areas of mindset, movement, and nutrition. So today I'm just sharing 8 simple steps that will just really put you on the path to success when it comes to reaching and maintaining your health and weight loss. Number 1, you guys know I'm all about mindset, and that's truly because every single thing we do or don't do comes back to our thinking. So my first tip is intentional thinking, really becoming aware by paying attention of what is going on in your mind all day long, questioning it, deciding, do you want to be continuing to think that, and is it benefiting you in any way? We've all heard the term limiting beliefs, and this is really what it comes down to. I know for myself, the phrase "I can't" was literally something I thought constantly when I was unable to reach my goal weight. And it wasn't even showing up in only the area of health, but it was showing up across the board in my life. When I was really struggling with being a mom when Ava was first born, it was because I was continuously telling myself that I couldn't do it. So really being intentional by paying attention to what you're thinking about what is going on, what you're doing in the day-to-day, and deciding, is it serving you? Is it something you want to continue thinking? And if not, identifying how you could possibly shift it to intentionally think something that is going to move you more in the direction of your goals. Number 2 is focusing the 80 to 90% of what you're eating, the food that you're putting in your mouth, on clean, whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods. This is where the whole nutrition and health piece comes in. 80 to 90% is typically what I like to recommend, and leaving 10 to 20% of, for those foods that don't fall in that category. Maybe you really love pizza, you really love chocolate chip cookies, you want to go out for ice cream on occasion and not have to worry about what every ingredient is. That is totally fine and amazing. I do the same thing. I try to stay around a 90-10 ratio. You do what works for you, but I always suggest 80 to 90% focus on those whole, unprocessed, real foods, the fruits and vegetables, the proteins, the things either without a label or a label that is comprised of ingredients that you can pronounce and you know what is in the food that you're eating. Okay, number 3, snacks and meals. Striving for balance in both of those, whether it's a snack or whether it's a full-out meal, striving for a combination of macronutrient groups. So that is carbohydrates, proteins, healthy fats, and trying to get fiber in whenever possible. The benefit of fiber is it slows down the absorption of any food that you're consuming in your bloodstream. It helps to eliminate some of those sugar spikes and crashes, keep your blood sugar stable, keep your energy stable, allows your body to stay more in fat burning versus fat storage, which is what most of us want. So balanced meals are very, very important. Also helps to keep you from being hungry constantly throughout the day. Okay, so number 4 is eating for fuel in the 80 to 90%. Most of the time, you're going to be eating because you're hungry, because maybe you had a smaller meal earlier on and you need to have a snack. To sustain yourself for a period of time, you're fueling your body to be able to maintain its functions physically, mentally, feeling your best. So you're fueling yourself with vitamins, minerals, nutrients. The reasons we don't really want to be eating, especially if weight loss and maintenance is our goal, is for emotional reasons. Maybe you're feeling very stressed, sad, emotional, in whatever way, bored. I know for me, that is a big one. I find myself at my pantry all the time because I'm bored, I'm trying to procrastinate, and I'm just stand there and go to look for something to eat to numb out that feeling. Those are the reasons that we really want to watch out for and make sure that the majority of the time we're eating for fuel. When you're doing that, you can really eliminate a lot of that overeating or mindlessly eating, which leads to more natural weight loss because you are only eating the foods that you need at the times that you need them. And number 5 is efficient, consistent movement. That is a big one. Now, if weight loss is a goal of yours and weight maintenance is a goal of yours, you can really do the majority of that with really, really cleaning up your diet and doing a lot of these things that I'm mentioning. Only eating when you're hungry and not eating, throughout the day just sporadically because you're trying to kill time and other people are, whatever it is, like I mentioned in the last one. But the other, 5 to 10%, maybe more for some people, is really getting in that efficient and consistent movement based on your goals. And I always suggest that this is something you're just starting out with or starting to develop a routine that you don't even have the basis of. I recommend starting off with, what is the amount of days that you think that you realistically are going to be able to get in movement. Decide the amount of time that you realistically want to carve out and work on just getting that consistency piece down. It doesn't even matter if you're starting out as much what you're doing, but that you're doing it and you're developing that routine, that habit, so it eventually becomes easier to do than not to do. That is the goal. And then once you get that down, you can start to tweak and modify what you're actually doing to get yourself closer to where you want to be, especially if you're starting off in the beginning. Now, if you've already been working out and exercising for a while, then you may want to be a little more strategic about what you're doing. Make sure your workouts are progressive and changing periodically to make sure that you're continuing to challenge your muscles and work different muscle groups. But that really depends on where you are. The key pieces here is that you're doing something efficient, especially if you're short on time, and then it's consistent. That is very, very important. All right, and the next one is drink lots and lots of water for so many reasons I won't even get into. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, in so many of my pictures, you see my water bottle. I have it with me today. I literally just carry it around every single place that I go, so it makes it easy to constantly drink it throughout the day. I have it with all my meals, when I wake up, before I go to bed, and honestly, it's another one of those things that you do it for so long that it becomes easier to do it than not to do it. I literally have a hard time if I go for a ride without my water bottle, but it is something that really plays into overall health, the way you feel, the way you look every single day. It helps with your skin, your energy, your sleep, so many different things, and you eat less because hydration makes you feel like you're fuller, essentially. So quality sleep, super, super important. We all hear all of this advice about getting as much sleep as you can. And I recently learned that it's not even about the number of hours of sleep that we get, but the quality. I recently started wearing this Whoop band, WHOOP. It's actually provided by some other work that I do for me. I'm not a big health gadget person, but the data is absolutely fascinating. So if sleep is something you're into, this might be worth looking into for yourself. But also in having this, I've been researching how can I get better quality sleep so I am at peak performance the next day, mentally and physically. And the things that I found are a lot of what I'm talking about today: eating really, really healthy, nutrient-dense foods that are fueling your body, hydration, like I mentioned before, drinking water throughout the day can really, really help your sleep. And alcohol, of course. That is the number one thing that I notice with my data in the morning, is when I have even a glass or two of wine the night before, that my numbers take a nosedive, that my sleep quality is significantly decreased when I have alcohol the night before. So in researching a little bit, I have learned that if you have it earlier on in the night, you're going to be better off. And if you're hydrating while you're drinking, you're going to be better off as well when it comes to sleep quality, as well as reducing sugar and making sure that you're not having caffeine too late in the day based on when you're going to bed, in addition to trying to give a couple hours between the time that you last eat a meal or a snack and the time you go to bed. And the reason being for that is because your body is taking that energy to break down the food and digest the food that you just consumed, instead of taking the energy to restore your muscles and your brain cells and everything else that it should be doing while you're sleeping. So there are definitely tons and tons of research, data to back it up. Literally, I'm watching my data every single day, and it's so fascinating to pay attention to. And it's all about the quality of the sleep and not necessarily the quantity. And the last one is work on liking and loving yourself along the way. And I know this sounds kind of corny, but I only have to include this because I feel like it's so important, because I spent years and years and years coming at this from a place of self-destruction, like thinking that once I got to a certain weight, once I got to a certain size, I looked a certain way, that I would then love myself. I would be so happy. I would be like, oh, I'm this amazing person because I got here. And if I would have just focused on those things along the way back then, instead of trying to push myself to get to a certain point to be able to do that, it would have been so much easier, it would have happened so much quicker, and it would have been so much more enjoyable. So I always encourage everybody, when they come to me and say, I just want to be happy, I just want to feel good about myself, start working on that at the same point that you start working towards reaching your goals, because that all comes from our thoughts about ourselves. It really has nothing to do with the number on a scale. That makes it easier to think those things, but we have the power to think them whenever we want and as much as we want. So that's something I started working on a while back, a a couple of years ago, even though, I spent probably 15 years not thinking those things and really struggling with all of it. But the truth is you take care of things that you value. You take care of things more consistently, at a higher level when you really value them. And we should value ourselves over every single other thing in the world. I was on a call recently and somebody just kind of spit out, I'm only the most important thing in my entire life. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing phrase I've ever heard, because we're the most important person in our entire life. If we don't take care of ourselves, we don't value ourselves, and we are not putting ourselves, at this high level of worthiness, we really can't show up to our maximum potential in any area of life, including our health journey. And, that is significantly going to contribute or take away from you reaching and maintaining your health and weight loss goals. So something I highly encourage from day one, work on, that self-like, that self-love piece. And that's something I can absolutely help you with, just identifying where do you even start with that? Where do you even, begin if you feel like you're so far from it? So those were some of my tips, really simple things that you can work on a daily basis. Start small, work your way up, and I promise you, if you do, you will start to see results, and they will be lasting results, very realistic and sustainable. If you guys ever have any questions, please reach out to me at Elena Nicole Health. You can always set up a free mini coaching session or even just ask questions on my website as well, elenanicolehealth.com, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.